Hey, good morning, and welcome to How to Get More Customers with Jeff Harrison. I'm Jeff Harrison, and today we're going to talk about something that I really think is vitally important for local business owners to use to help them get more customers. Now, I know in the past I've talked about content. This is a little bit of that, but this is something we're going to talk about today to help you get more customers without doing a whole lot of work. And so let's just jump right into it. Let me share my screen. And I want to make sure that I have the audio turned on. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share that. Share the audio. Share. Great. Okay, good. So today, and I'm going to just remove me. Actually, I think you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay in there if you don't mind. Yep, let's do that one. Okay. All right. So today's topic is how to get more customers. And I'm going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about automation because it's simple yet effective. Now, let me just make my screen a little smaller so I can see this. Great. And we're going to get right into it. So if you can't see the screen, please let me know. We'll make an adjustment. Or if you're having trouble hearing me, please let me know. But you should be able to hear me now. Everything should be good. And okay, so let's get started. First of all, just get that a little bit further out of the way. So we're talking about automation. Now, automation by definition, using my definition, is this: it's the ability or option for a process to occur once it has been set up without further involvement from me. That's how I define automation. So everything we're talking about today is based on this definition. It's the ability or option for a process to occur once it's been set up without further involvement from me. It's just happening over and over again. Okay? So where do we begin? Well, there are many types of automations for small business owners, and a lot of those, you may be using or whatever. Let's just cover a few of those so we're all on the same page. First of all, it could have answering services. They're answering your phones. You've got a call center, whatever it is. That's all automated. You're not physically doing that. All right. The next one could be website forms, where you have forms on your website to collect names and email addresses, or your whatever it may be. You have forms on your website, or maybe somebody wants to make a reservation to your restaurant. Well, they may have to do it online with a form. That could be that, and you're not physically speaking to them. It's all automated. Next are emails. Emails could be a series of emails that if somebody does this, then they get an email or a series of emails. So that could be automated, and it could really come from that website form. All right. The other is a retargeting campaign. Now, if somebody's not familiar with that, I'll give you a real quick example. Let's say, for instance, you go online and you look up, you're looking for tennis shoes, and then you go over to a Nike website, but you don't buy. But you're there, you're checking out 4 or 5 brands, and all of a sudden, you notice whenever you go to Facebook, what do you see? Oh, you see Nike ads. And you're going to other websites and you see this Nike ad, and you open up your Gmail account and you see this offer for Nike. These are retargeting campaigns. They saw that you came, and then they're just following up with you. This is a really valuable process. That's all happening in the background. It's automated. The next one could be chatbots. Now, we've made chatbots for clients for years, and what that is we said, hey, if this happens, then we create the logic behind it of what other pieces have to be created in the conversation, that if they say X, we have an answer for that. We have another step to that. Chatbots are very effective. They're used on websites. They're used on Facebook. They're used on business cards. I'm on business cards, where if you scan my business card, it will actually take you into a chatbot sequence that will get you to put your name and email address in there. And as soon as that happens, then you receive a series of automated emails over a period of time. That's all done without my involvement. Remember what I said. Once I set this up, then I don't have to get involved in it very often for the future. So chatbots. So the list goes on and on. But today I want to focus on the most critical automation you will want to implement. And again, this is my most important. Okay. So the most important one is automation for business, especially for those with a growth mindset. I think this is the number one thing you need to focus on. Lead generation. Now, lead generation by definition means this. My definition of a lead gen is very simple. It's like if I go to a well that has fresh water, when I'm thirsty, I want to go to the well and drink. So if I create a well, or if I have a well and it has fresh water, I know I can always go there when I'm thirsty. That's like lead generation. A lead gen system will be very similar. It'll provide constant flow of new. Now, again, this is a bit of a definition of what is a lead gen system for me. It'll provide a constant flow of new potential clients. It will do it automatically, hence the topic, automation today. It will filter out most of the tire kickers and time wasters, which I think is vitally important for small business owners who typically are wearing many, many hats, or solopreneurs. It'll also be evergreen. So when you're done and it's done properly, it'll be relevant today and a year or more from now without any updates needed. And this is my favorite part, it should be relatively easy to create and set up. So let's dive in. Now that we have some ground rules and understanding definitions that I have. So let's go step one. Step one, we want to create a valuable, free, and downloadable asset your ideal customer wants or needs. Now, let me just say it right now. Your newsletter is not something, unless you're giving me stock tips, right? And your people are getting, hundreds of % of return. I'm sorry, the newsletter is probably not going to be a very free and downloadable asset that I'm willing to trade my name and email for you to get my name and email. It's just not going to work. So what you want to do is you want to think about, hey, what are the pain points for my ideal customer? And how can I create a free and downloadable document that they can get in exchange for their name and email address? All right, so let me just give you some examples. So for today's presentation, a free and downloadable, it might be something like this. My easy 3-step guide to create an automated lead generation system for your local business, right? That makes sense. It would be valuable because if you want an automated lead generation, who doesn't want more customers? Well, this is all automated and it's an easy 3-step guide, all right? Now, somebody might say, well, that's real easy for you to say, Jeff, but what if you're a different type of company? What if I'm an HVAC company? Well, maybe it's something like this, homeowner's guide, how to get your air conditioning, and it could be your heating and air conditioning system ready for the season in 3 easy steps, right? So now, if I'm a homeowner, that appeals to me. I'm not an apartment dweller. I'm probably not a person who comes in. I'm not a snowbird. I'm somebody who owns a home in my area, and I need to have, I'm thinking about, okay, it's getting ready for season. It's either warm or it's cool season, and I need to get my system ready in 3 easy steps. That may appeal to me, right? But what if you're an accountant? Well, 5 things you can do now, yes, even on April 13th, to save you money on your personal taxes. Well, if you're, year-round, let's face it, that would work, right? But even on April 13th, and you could put on there, I just put on because today's the 13th, that this is something they may find valuable. Again, these would be people that would attract and kind of, if you will, filter out the tire kickers so that they are people that really are looking for accountants or HVAC companies or marketing companies, right? But what if you're a fitness instructor or you're a coach? Well, those type of people want to work with people who want to get in shape, and people that are usually seeking out a fitness instructor or coach have a I want to get in shape mindset. I want to be physically fit. I need to get in better shape, that kind of thing. So eliminate now the top 10 foods you thought were healthy, but are the roadblocks on your journey to better health, right? So step 1 is free and downloadable asset. Again, and if you write it down on your paper and you underline it, it is not a newsletter. It just doesn't get me excited. I'm not going to sign up for your newsletter. And probably most people are not either. Now, down the road after we have a relationship, I might do that because I find your information is very valuable. But right off the bat, sorry, not going to work. All right? So That's step one. Step two, we want to create a series of emails because once they download it, then you build a little bit of a relationship. So the first email is to thank them and deliver on your promise of the free and downloadable asset, right? So that's the first email. Hey, thank you. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. And once you have that, guess what? You have their name and email address. The next email is you're going to share some challenges they may still face, exposing a problem they did not know they had, right? They still had. As an example, with the My Free Downloadable, well, how to get the code from their email provider onto the website, right? Some people, let's face it, it's not always everybody's real technically savvy. And whenever you go to your email system and they said, yeah, you can create a downloadable link or a downloadable form that goes on your website. It's an embed form and it looks like, gobbledygook. You may not know how to get that on your website. Well, that could be something they're looking for. Hey, if you're still having trouble with this because of this, boom, boom, boom. That is some of the challenges they may still face. Also, the importance of segmentation when it comes to list building. Now, some of you may not be familiar with segmentation, but what it's basically saying is, I'm going to make sure that anybody coming into my list from this goes into their own separate bucket. In other words, if down the road I would say, hey, I want to send a list out to everybody who came from my free and downloadable, the only people that are in that list are those people. I don't want to mix it in with people who are already customers because the information, the communication is different. Here's a perfect example. Staples. I buy things from Staples for my office supplies, chairs, whatever it is, paper. But I get emails from them that have nothing to do with that. They're trying to sell me, Windex, or they're trying to sell me toilet paper, or they're trying to sell me Downy softener. That's incongruent because they didn't segment their list. So what happened? I deleted them from my list because they kept sending me things that are irrelevant to me, and I got rid of them. So make sure you're free and downloadable. You're exposing some of these things on there to them. Now the third email, so the first two, one, thank them for the promise, then expose some challenges they may still be facing even though they've gotten your free and downloadable. And the next one is testimonials from past customers who you or your company worked with. This is like the review before you go to dinner. You're going to say, hey, has anybody eaten there before? And you look over there and you say, hey, it's got nothing but 5 stars. Everybody loved it. How do you feel? Well, you feel better because, the last thing you want to do is walk into an empty restaurant. You're the only one there. That's always a really uncomfortable feeling when you walk into a restaurant and you're the only ones there. Like, whoa, did we make a mistake? The review will help people understand that they're not alone and others have already trusted you and your company to help them, right? So that's your third email. The fourth email is we're straight up, hey, we're going to ask them to buy your product or your service. And at this point, you obviously have the offer ready. So as an example, let's go back to HVAC company, right? You're downloading that free guide, right, of how to get your HVAC system ready for the season. Well, guess what my HVAC company offers? They offer a twice a year maintenance program where they come out and get your HVAC ready, whether it's for the winter or for the summer. Changing your filters, cleaning out around, making sure there's no debris in there, making sure all your there's no debris that's grown over your system that will block the airflow. All these things. Well, this could be the offer you're asking them to buy. Hey, if some of this stuff is something you'd like us to take care of, we do this for blah, 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 and it's $149. Well, there is your automated process, right? You've done step one, you've done step two, you create the series of emails, and you ask them to buy in the four. Everybody who goes through that process are going to get those 4 emails. That's important, okay? So that's the first 2 steps. Step 3, I want you to remember the example of the well. To get their water out of the well, what has to happen? Well, we have to pump it, right? We have to pump that well to get the water out. I'm not talking about the one with the rope where you got to roll it up, but you still have to do something. You got to dip the water in or the bucket in the water, and you got to roll it up. This is a pump handle, okay? So that's how we have to get the water out of there. Well, the same is true for lead generation. What does it need though? What's its water? It's traffic. It's traffic. So the process to get traffic to come out of your lead generation system is this. It's a simple process. You want to create an ad that is consistently running, right? Again, going back to HVAC people, you're creating an ad targeting homeowners in your area about this, simple process of how to get your HVAC system ready for the season in 3 easy steps. And you just let that run. You target your ideal customer. Again, your ideal customer is what? Homeowners in your area, right? And then you're going to offering your free downloadable thingy, right? Whatever that guide is. And then you're going to do something that's really going to take a lot of you out on the limb is you're going to add a budget of $5 a day. $5 a day, and all of a sudden now you have that automated process of that well where it's being pumped, the water's coming out. This is how you get people to download your free downloadable guide, right? $5 a day. Now somebody might say, well, geez, for $5 a day, is that going to work? In 99% of the cases, if you are a local business, $5 a day is going to get it done. Because most of the people listening to this have, you're only in an area where you're speaking to an area of, let's say, 25-mile radius. Well, for $5 a day, you're going to cover the people you want to cover. Now, if you're in a region or you're taking a part of a state or the entire state, your budget needs to grow. Like as an example, one of our clients, they have clients in all 50 states, or excuse me, they service all 50 states. They currently have clients in 32 states, as I heard yesterday morning, 32 states. Well, that requires a little different budget because your audience is spread out in a lot bigger place. But for most of you who are trying to gather new clients to download your free and downloadable, $5 a day will get it done. All right. So let's just recap the keys to your success of making this automated. You want to create your free and downloadable. Again, you want to make it irresistible. This is something that, gosh, if I didn't realize how valuable it is. And here's the thing. Once you put this together, ask people before you start going whole hog on this, would you exchange your name and email for this? Maybe ask some past customers. If they say yes, you're probably onto it. If they say probably not, you probably need to tighten it up a little bit. That could be something that said once you have it going, it's running. If it takes a little bit more time to get it right, I'd rather you do that. So that's step one. Then you want to create a series of 4 emails. They're automated to be sent out to anyone who downloads your freebie. So one triggers the other. So you get your offer, they download it, it starts triggering those emails. Now, someone might say, well, how often do I need to send these emails out? Well, you might send it out one every other day. So basically in 8 days, you have taken somebody who you've never had that traffic off your ad, and you've moved them through your sales funnel, if you will, your process of your emails, and asked them to buy. So every 8 days, you may see that there's a bump in your income. There's a bump in new clients, right? Some of you might say, well, that's too often for me. I want to do it once a week. Well, okay, then it's going to take you 4 weeks to go through that. So just FYI, you can set that up where you feel comfortable. What I found is when you have a new customer like that, it's best if you keep that sales cycle, the communication cycle, a little tighter because we get distracted. Hey, there's times I walk into a room, I forgot why I walked in there. Anybody besides me? Yeah, I see a few hands going up. This is because there's space in there. So we want to keep it kind of compressed. Don't feel bad because you're only calling out the people who are most likely to do business with you, right? Then you need to create an ad that consistently is driving targeted traffic to your free offer. That's all you have to do, gang. That's it. That's the keys to your success. I promise you it's going to be pretty simple today. So here's some final thoughts. Create an irresistible offer that people will want to exchange for their name, email, and phone number. I can't stress that enough. It has to be an irresistible offer. It's not something you said, hey, I got this, I'll just make something up and it's really invaluable. No, it has to be irresistible, okay? Write the series of 4 emails and collect 2 or 3 great testimonials or reviews for your second email, or excuse me, your third email. You got to get that done. This is your homework, if you will. You want to create your ad and your copy. Now, I want to close with a little bit of a saying here. Once you set your automation up, it could truly provide a consistent flow of new prospects and customers without ever needing to get involved beyond handling the new customers and orders for months or years. There are many businesses out there, and you know, now that you stop and think about it, I said, yeah, they've run that same ad for 10 years. There are customers that, hey, once you get this thing rocking and rolling, I mean, I've had customers where we said, hey, we've had the same ad running for 2 years. Why? Because it works. Now, it might have taken, 3, 4, 5 iterations to really tune it up, but once it started spitting the numbers we're looking for at the other end, it was like pumping that handle. The first 2 or 3 pumps, nothing came out. On the 4th pump, water came out and it kept coming out every time I put it out there. That's like fine-tuning my ad, right? And now you don't have to touch it. When you see it start dropping off, we call it ad fatigue. You might have to do something different. It might change something. But for now, it could provide a consistent flow of new prospects and customers without ever needing to get involved beyond handling new customers and orders for months or years. How many of you can appreciate if you could just set up some kind of an automated system like this for your business, and it would make such a difference for you, especially those people who are already wearing a lot of hats and then stressing out at night because they don't have enough customers. This is a way to change that. All right? So, closing this out. SwingPoint Media, that's who we are. We're a local digital marketing company focused on one thing, helping businesses succeed by getting you more customers. I want to thank you for joining me today. My name is Jeff Harrison. My phone number there, 760-422-5176. If you have questions or maybe you want to talk about this a little more, give me a call or send me an email. You can email me at jeff@swingpointmedia. I'd love to help you out. And if you have questions, you watch this, you have questions, please put them in the comments. I'll go back and check them out. And of course, I'll answer them for you. But I'd like to see you be more successful by using automation. At the end of the day, it still comes down to content. You got to create those 2 or 3 pieces of content. All right. So coming up this weekend, we have a holiday coming up with Good Friday on Friday. And then we have Easter or Passover. So, be safe out there. Enjoy this holiday. We've got a lot of things changing here in the Coachella Valley. I think the following weekend, if I'm not mistaken, is we get the Coachella and all the festivals happening. But in the meantime, have a safe and happy holiday, and I'll see you next week. My name is Jeff Harrison. Have a great